Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have a search ongoing right now in Cozumel for a missing cruise ship passenger, and police and family are asking for our help. We also have Princess announcing a cooperation with a train, of all things, and I wish this would have been offered sooner, but it's a good thing. We also have Oceania Cruise now has a brand new culinary and brand ambassador that I think everybody is going to know. And finally, we had another cruise ship fire at sea, and this time it's on one of the old staples of cruising, Cunard, Queen Mary II, when passengers awoke to smoke in their cabins. So a cruise passenger has gone missing from the icon of the seas. He was out walking around with his family when he wandered away from his family. His name is Edmund Bradley Solomon. He has a form of dementia and has pretty hard time with some communication. Is now being searched for by family members, police, United States police investigations. They're using everything they can from closed circuit TV. The news media has gotten involved, and pictures are going out over the newspapers and the press and online. If anyone happens to see this gentleman, to please contact the local police immediately, or even contact Royal Caribbean, as they are also searching for this passenger since he did not return to the ship as well. The wife stayed behind in Cozumel and let the ship go while she was there waiting for her husband to come back. Now, they did track him to a taxi driver that he said he had no money to get this ride to a beach that he wanted to go to, but he traded his wristwatch for the ride. At least that's the story going. And they're not saying which beach he went to or anything like that, but you can see the kind of predicament that this could probably get this person in and why the family is so concerned. So if you happen to be in Cozumel over the next few days and you keep an eye out for this gentleman, Edmund Bradley Solomon, and hopefully this has a good resolution as all of us cruisers and community come together to find this gentleman. Next, we have Princess is pairing up and just announced a partnership with Brightline in Florida. That's right, they're going to be offering a sail and ride kind of package between Princess and Brightline, but you know, many times I go on a cruise in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, and then I take a train down to visit maybe some theme parks or jump on a cruise leaving out of Orlando. So I often take the train, and now you can too, and you can get different discounts available if you're booking through Princess. You'll be able to book it directly through Brightline on a Princess sailing sale. They say up to 15% discount right now, and that could range up to $150 rebate right now, or a credit if you're, depending on the type of cabin you've booked on Princess. But the one thing I do like on this system is it's going to be a load and forget kind of thing, where, for instance, if you're in Orlando and you're heading to a cruise in Miami, well, once you check your bag in at Brightline, you don't have to pick it up and move it to the cruise ship, etc. They will have it waiting for you in your cabin when you get to the ship. They will handle all the loading, unloading, and getting it to the ship for you. I think, that's a time saver for me, for one thing, especially if I have a lot of time. right? Especially if I have a lot of time between my cruise and, embarking, disembarking. It just makes things so much easier than driving, paying for parking while you're there, or paying for a flight. It takes just as long to fly as it does to take the train when you add in how much time you have to spend at the airport for embarkation and waiting for your luggage, etc. So I think this is a really good partnership. I wish it would have came out sooner, because I'm on Brightline in 3 weeks, but I'm already paid, I'm already booked. So I'm not going to get that savings yet, but I will try it out the next time I'm heading to Florida and Orlando, back and forth between those two. I'll let you know how that whole process with the luggage goes, because I think this is a really good partnership. And hey, if I can save a little money, that's a good thing. Oceania Cruises has also announced a new brand ambassador / culinary ambassador. You might recognize her. She's famous for her Italian cooking. She's one of the most picturesque, shall we say, faces in expert. She just sparkles on the screen. She has numerous television shows and appearances she's been on, many cookbooks, and we're talking about Giada De Laurentiis, and she is like an icon in this industry. I think other than picking maybe a chef like Gordon Ramsay, I think this is like one of the biggest icons you can put in front of your brand, especially for like the Italian market and the Italian food and pasta and that, which she is well known for. I think that is an amazing brand ambassador for this cruise line, and I hope she gets to put some of her influential cooking, the home feel of Italian home-cooked meals onto those ships. And yeah, maybe I might just have to take an Oceania cruise just to see what she does with the culinary experiences on board. Next, let's talk about the fire on Queen Mary 2. However, before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the new appointees for chefs and culinary experiences, to cruise ships being canceled, to delays going on, to saving tips, money saving tips, time saving tips, little packages like Brightline, all those kind of news stories that might make your cruise just a little bit easier, a little bit more stress-free, and maybe even save you some money in the meantime. I hope you'll join us here on the channel. It doesn't cost anything to hit that subscribe button, but boy, it really does help the channel out, and I really do appreciate it. So let's talk about what happened. It was about 4 a.m. in the morning when alarm bells rang out on the Queen Mary 2 while she was on her way from Sri Lanka. Well, passengers in their accommodations on the lower decks could smell smoke in their cabins, but they were told to stay in their cabins while the fire crew worked. At first, people thought it was basically a fire drill or something going on, but then they realized at that time of the morning that's not normally the situation. That's not the way they're going to do it. And when they smelt the smoke, panic kind of set out, because fire at sea is basically the worst event that can possibly happen out there, other than a main collision between two cruise ships or two ships. But true to form, the cruise ship workers remained calm, did their duty, did their job, and had the fire under control very quickly. And it just took a little while to clear out the smoke smell from the lower decks and the accommodations. But no passengers were injured, no crew members apparently were injured during this situation at all neither. But yeah, good work by the crew to get that under control. That is a scary situation. Apparently it caught fire in the engine room, which is of course below decks, which is of course below your accommodations. And that's why when the smoke rises, it was not filling, but you could smell it in people's staterooms. And if you smell smoke on a cruise ship, in the middle of the ocean at 4 a.m., I can only imagine the panic that could go through your mind. Wow, a scary situation, but the crew had it under control, and they quickly put out the fire and passengers continued on their cruise. No word if there's any damage to the ship. Apparently it's like a compressor that overheated. So I don't think it's too big a deal for the cruise ship, and I think the cruise will be able to continue as planned. Well, I hope you appreciate this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.